And now, a word from our sponsor, Anchor. Have you ever thought of starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my shows into all the apps people like to listen to? How do I make money from this podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast making money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear what you guys do.
But you know what? There are other album covers for Resurrection. We did other album covers, but I don't even know if I have them anymore.
Do you remember what any of them might have been? Were they all kind of the same theme, or were they completely different?
No, they were completely different themes. We had different album covers for Art of War and Resurrection, but back then, unfortunately, you didn't have external hard drives and disposable disk space. Like, you only kept the finals.
Yeah.
You didn't keep every draft of every different thing.
That's so the case with, so much of music in general back then. Same thing with the recording. They didn't keep all these extra takes, and certain things got snuck out on tapes, but there was only so much room to keep the recordings, and that's why we don't have, they talk about all the stuff they recorded back then that we don't have now, because like you said, space just you couldn't keep it all. So it is unfortunate.
I'll look it up for you. I have the binders right here. I have the binders in my hands. So I'll look it up for you. See if there's anything from Resurrection. But I know we did a lot of album covers for Resurrection.
One of the things that I know you did, you did the 10th anniversary, the Ruthless Records 10th anniversary. And of course, Eternal, and there was a couple of these albums that had that Eazy-E 11523 RIP logo on it. Was that you, or who designed that and came up with that idea? Because that's really,
I designed it. Donald came up with it. That's, of course, the number of days he was alive. If you look close at Straight Off the Streets of Motherfucking Compton, you can see 11523 in white in the right corner. So we did sneak it in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the snuck in things, and I thought that was such a creative idea, and that logo, I mean, I think in the Bone world maybe it doesn't have the charm today that it did, but it must have had a good 10+ year run where like that was synonymous with fans like everywhere. You saw that logo, and your artwork and the artwork that you guys were involved in is still to this day staples. That artwork, as far as like the Under the Tray in Eternal, even some of the stuff in the booklet, that stuff is still today. I mean, that, I would say, wouldn't you agree, John? I mean, those are like the big images that people think of, that and like Creeping on a Come Up images.
Not only that, Cecil and I have imitated what you guys did in the Eternal album cover on those sides. The Don't Give Props to the Devil, Believe in the Last Days. Every album we've released together, we've made sure to put some kind of secret message in the spine there.